Hi, I am Jeremy, and this is my invention. This is the latest version of a vision that I have had for years now. It's basically a device that lets you scratch with audio tape. What makes it unique from other, I know that there are other people that scratch with tape out there. What makes it unique is that it's essentially, there are two different mechanisms of movement. There's the physical movements of these movable playheads up and down these strips, the strip of audio tape. And then also there's the physical movement of the tape itself, which is controlled by a motor that's inside here. And I have these controls that make the tape move forward or backwards. And by combining these two different kinds of movements, I can really get a lot of fun stuff. I can record to the tape and then scratch with it as I'm recording to the tape. Because the tape has multiple tracks, in this example, I can have one scratch playlist recorded on one pair of tracks and another scratch playlist on another. So here I've got Parliament Funkadelic on one pair of tracks. And then on the other pair of tracks, I have a series of scratch samples. The way I find is comfortable for me is it feels more natural to move from left to right with my right hand, and then from right to left with my left hand. So what I do is I record one playlist running in one direction and then the other running in the other direction. So then I can do this. So these playheads are playheads that I pulled from old reel-to-reel decks. Oh, and by the way, that is a Safeway card that I cut up and glued to the bottom of it. The reason for that is because it's actually really important that the playhead doesn't press down too hard on the tape, because if it does, then the motor will struggle because it's putting too much pressure on the tape. So that basically the purpose of that was to make it a little bit higher. So anyway, yeah, these are playheads that I pulled out of old reel-to-reel decks that I bought on eBay. I spent a lot of money on eBay working on this project. So this is the tape loop. It loops under the board. The motor that's driving the loop is actually something that I pulled out of an old printer. I was trying to figure out how to build the pinch roller, and the guy here at Fablab, Jordan, he suggested that I try just buying an old broken printer and taking it apart, and it turned out to be perfect. So this rocker right here makes it run forwards or backwards. But if you're doing two-handed scratching, like I was talking about before, obviously you can't have your hand on this. So I built this foot pedal, which it's basically like a foot rocker, and you press down the toe to make it run in this direction, press down the heel to make it run in that direction. But anyway, so you can see how I use the foot pedal so I can do two-handed stuff like. About a year and a half ago, I built the first version that had an actual motorized tape transport, which could actually record, but it was still completely all handmade, still really crude. The video of that one ended up getting like over 7 million views. It was crazy. A lot of people started reaching out to me. So then somebody told me about Fablab, which is where I am now. And this place was like made for me. It's so perfect. And I was ultimately, by coming here, I was ultimately able to make a prototype that does almost everything I wanted. It was almost a full realization of my original vision. It has been such an amazing experience. This is like this idea that I got years ago, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. So I had to do it.